Okay, I'm going to be going over some sample problems that you witnessed on the quiz. Hopefully these sample problems will give you an idea of, once again, how we should be handling these problems and hopefully be able to make corrections on anything that we have. So the first 5 problems of the quiz dealt with problems that were similar to this one. 5, 12, 19, 26. And you were asked to find the next 2 terms, the first term in the sequence, the common difference, the recursive formula, the explicit formula, and a certain term in the sequence. So this one I'll just go with the 13th term. Okay? So, to solve this one, the first term is just the first term that we see on the line. So we have 5. The common difference is how I go from one number to the next. How do I get from 5 to 12? I add 7. 12 to 19, I add 7. 19 to 26, I add 7. So I should have a 7 for D. The next 2 terms in the sequence, I want to continue the pattern that we see. So if I add 7 to 26, I get 33. And if I add 7 to that, I get 40. Now the recursive formula is A sub n is equal to A sub n minus 1 plus the common difference. So our answer here is going to start out A sub n is equal to A sub n minus 1. And the only part that we have to really change is the common difference. So we're going to take that common difference over here, plus 7. Explicit formula, A sub n is equal to A sub 1 plus parentheses n minus 1 times the common difference. Okay? So now we need to plug in a couple things. We need to plug in A sub 1 and D. So it's going to stay A sub n is equal to the first term in the sequence, 5, plus n minus 1, and then the common difference at the end, times 7. Now for the 13th term, I'm just going to plug 13 in for everywhere that I see an n in our explicit formula. So A sub 13 is equal to 5 plus 13 minus 1 times 7. So I end up with 5 plus 13 minus 1 is 12. Then I have to do 12 times 7, which is 84. And then I end up with 5 plus 84, which is 89, my 13th term, A sub 13. And that is how we complete one of the first 5 problems. Now, I'll go ahead and go over another one with you. Maybe one that's a little trickier. Let's try negative 11, negative 24, negative 37, negative 50. Now we are still going to find the first term, common difference. Write this as a recursive formula. Write this as an explicit formula. And we're still going to find a certain term in the sequence. We'll just find the 20th term here. Okay. Now, first term of the sequence, just the first number that we see, negative 11. Common difference is what do I have to go going from one number to the next. So negative 11 to negative 24. Okay. Now, if I forget how to do that, I could always do the right minus the left. So that means I could do negative 24 minus negative 11. Okay, minus negative 11 is a positive, so we actually end up with minusing 13 here each time. Our recursive formula, once again, a sub n is equal to a sub n minus 1 plus D. All we have to do is plug in the common difference. So this will be A sub n is equal to A sub n minus 1 minus 13 for our final answer for recursive. Some students will be pleasantly surprised to hopefully make quick corrections on some of these because you did recursive and explicit formulas incorrectly by just accidentally putting this one here. You accidentally put this one as the explicit. So that'll be easy corrections hopefully to make. Let's continue with explicit formula. A sub n is equal to A sub 1 plus n minus 1 times the common difference. So plug in what we know. We have A sub n is equal to our first term, negative 11, plus in parentheses n minus 1, and then in parentheses here at the end, minus 13. Fortunately, I don't have enough room to write it there, so let me go ahead and write it down here. A sub n is equal to the first term, negative 11 plus n minus 1, and the common difference is a negative 13. So, to find the 20th term, we plug in 20 everywhere we see an n. So A sub 20 is equal to negative 11 plus in parentheses 20 minus 1 times negative 13. So we have negative 11 plus, we have 19 here. 19 times negative 13 is a negative 258. Oh, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Is a negative 247. And then if we do negative 11 minus 247, we get negative 258 for the 20th term of the sequence. So once again, those are sample problems from the first 5 problems on the quiz. And now I will go over a couple problems, basically going over with the final 2 problems on the quiz. So let's say you were given that the first term of a sequence was 24, and you were given the recursive formula, which was A sub n is equal to A sub n minus 1 plus 12. And then you were told to find the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th terms. And what I've said to do in this one, guys, is to start your sequence and just go to until you get to the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. So our first term in the sequence is 24. They told us that. Then we have a space for the 2nd, a space for the 3rd, and then the ones I'm going to underline here are the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. These are the terms that we want to find. Now, according to the common difference here, there's positive 12 at the end. That means as I go from one number to the next, I need to be adding 12. I need to be adding 12. So that means if I add 12 to 24, I get 36. Add 12 to that, I get 48. Add 12 to that, I get 60. Add 12 to that, I get 72. Add 12 to that, I get 84. So the 4th term was 60. The 5th term was 72. And the 6th term was 84. Okay. Now, once again, we'll go over another one here, another style of problem that you might see. Let's say I gave you the first term of a sequence was 4. Ooh, hello. 4. And then A sub n is equal to negative 2 A sub n minus 1. And you were told to find the 3rd term and the 4th term of this sequence. Now, this looks a little different than the last one because we don't have the plus or minus at the end. We have this number out front, but I can still start it out the same way. The first term is 4. Then we're going to need to find the 3rd and the 4th term here. Okay? So, instead of that number being at the end where we know how much we add or subtract each time, it's now out front, which this is now multiplication. So as I move from one term to the next, I'm going to be multiplying by negative 2 each time. Multiplying by negative 2 each time. So 4 times negative 2 gives me negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 2 gives me a positive 16. And 16 times negative 2 gives me a negative 32. And then, hold on.
At this time, would all freshmen that need retakes for pictures please report to the main gym? All freshmen needing retakes on pictures, please report to the main gym.
So once again here, in all of these, we are multiplying by negative 2 each time. So that means, once again, 4 times negative 2 gave us negative 8. Times that by negative 2 to give us 16. Times that by negative 2 to give us negative 32. So we can safely say that the third term was 16 and the fourth term was negative 32. Hopefully these problems are a little bit of a remembrance of how we're supposed to handle these, and hopefully we're able to apply them to our quiz. If you do have any more questions,